This tutorial will show you standard operations and options. This app is called the House DNA Robot, or House DR for short, version 7.26. This demonstration is with some emphasis on certain routing template page operations. There are essentially two screens, the main appointment page, or MAP, and the routing template page. Just press on the patient's name to generate a routing template screen. The main appointment page, or MAP, has an upper part and a lower part. The upper part is the appointment book. Schedule an appointment. Press the patient's name to generate a routing template. We see two buttons. One is the CPT button and the other is the ICD or diagnosis button. Your CPT database will display. Select the CPT category. Touch the category. Below the category is a list of CPT code descriptions, in-house code letters, CPT code numbers. Each provider can design their own CPT code letters and customize their CPT code letters to be representative of a CPT code number and CPT code description. In this case, let's go ahead and press IOV. IOV appears on the display, representative of 99204, initial office visit. It also appears in the predictive text value box here. As you can see, there are a lot of numbers and a lot of letters. But what makes it easy is that you can select an in-house code by using letters to be representative of the code numbers. Let's see how that works. Go to your predictive text box and select IOV. If you're like me, I can't remember all the code numbers, but I can remember IOV as being initial office visit. As you see below, it's displayed IOV is representative of the CPT code number 99204. IOV-1 is representative of a different level office visit, 99203. So as an alternative, you can use the CPT code button to select your CPT code, or you could use the predictive code box. In addition to your code letters, of course, if you can remember the code numbers, you can enter in the code numbers as an alternative. OV for office visit, OVI for office visit intermediate, OVM for office visit minimal, OVB for office visit brief. Likewise, 99213, 99212, 99211. So code numbers or code letters can be used. In addition to your evaluation and management codes, your various other procedural codes can be listed by using code numbers or in-house code letters. Let's add this as our initial office visit for today's visit. BK in-house code letters representative of 29405, BK below the knee cast. Injection, predictive text yields INJ intermediate. With an extra letter, we can change it to injection peripheral, representative of CPT code 64450. Again, these numbers are totally up to each provider. For example, they could use NP for new patient rather than IOV. Next, we select ICD or diagnosis codes. Again, we have an ICD button and we have a predictive code box below it. Pressing on the ICD button displays the ICD or diagnosis database. Once again, the database may be ported over from your external program or third-party program, or you can create and add additional diagnoses and customization as you deem necessary. Generally, the diagnoses are listed in alphabetical order. This is only a partial list for demonstration. Touch the description that you decide you'd like to use, and it appears on the display of the routing template. Let's add that one. Select a number of other diagnoses if they pertain for today's visit. Touch here. It displays here. Add it. Let's remove this and add it to the second place. Just as the CPT button and CPT code box works, the ICD or diagnosis predictive code box can also be entered by using the predictive text. AB would be abnormal gait. We've already selected that. ABR for abrasion. Or you could enter in the actual diagnosis or ICD code numbers. Let's just pick this arbitrary diagnosis to add as our third ICD code. Now select a diagnosis or ICD code number and description to correspond to each service rendered today or CPT code. These can be selected in any order depending on your order of importance. Generally, the first diagnosis is the most important diagnosis, so it's listed first, followed by the second, third, and fourth. You need not enter 4 diagnoses here. Let's see what happens if we try 4. You notice above that there is no diagnosis 4 in the visit for today or in the permanent diagnosis field here. The pop-up will appear to remind you you need to add one in if you're going to use a diagnosis 4. So let's pick 1 corresponding to this ICD here. So now we have the CPT codes and corresponding diagnosis for each procedure or evaluation management code. Schedule a return visit by clicking or touching the RTO tab. 3 days. This is the way the routing template page looks once the send to post function has been performed. Notice that the add to permanent diagnosis field has been cleared, and those diagnoses have now been displayed in the permanent diagnosis field. These fields have been cleared as well. It's ready for a new data service. Office visit. This corresponded to diagnosis number 2. Add in a new diagnosis for 3. Diagnosis 3 will replace diagnosis 3 here once sent to post. And there you have it. The data has been sent to the external or third-party program. When returning back to the main appointment page or map screen, press on the patient's name, generate a routing template, select a service, select a diagnosis, preview, patient's name, diagnosis, service relates to diagnosis 1, return date, surgery date. Everything looks fine. We can actually print this page or send it in the event this is being used as a standalone application. Everything looks fine. Send to post. Data has been sent. Pull that page back up again. The routing template will show the fields have been cleared and it's ready for another data service. This concludes an overall review of the routing template page.